Hello everyone, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back, and today we're going to be discussing Hurricane Milton that is just about to make landfall, very close to making landfall if it hasn't already, in the state of Florida. Very dangerous major hurricane. We're going to get right into it here. So of course, be sure to stay tuned and to like and subscribe. We're going to get right into it here. Starting off here with the satellite imagery. Again, here's the hurricane. Okay, it's tracked pretty much from northern Yucatan and is now heading right towards the state of Florida. You can see those dangerous, dangerous cold cloud tops. Of course, those famous pink colors, right, east and south of center. It's a little disorganized. We're getting a little bit of shear coming in from this direction, and that sort of, kind of discombobulated the eye a little bit, if you will. But it's still, looking very powerful nonetheless. And it's going to be on the slow weakening trend as it heads towards here the state of Florida. You can also see again some thunderstorms, brewing out ahead of it. And, of course, some rain and thunderstorms already over here, the state of Florida. National Hurricane Center, latest update, here we go. You can see tropical storm, hurricane force winds. Hurricane force winds are very small, right? It's just that little red dot there that you see where the X is. Tropical storm force winds, not too big of a wind field either, but still not bad. I mean, it's over. It would cover pretty much all of Central Florida right now, but it is going to grow in size as it approaches the state. Making landfall, according to the Hurricane Center, 2 a.m. on Thursday as a weak category. I shouldn't say weak, but lower end, as I like to say, Category 4 hurricane. And then exiting the state Thursday afternoon. So it'll take about 12 hours exactly across the state, according to the Hurricane Center. It'll make landfall, exit as a Category 1 hurricane and probably make landfall as a Cat 4. Tropical storm warnings go all the way to the Panhandle, Florida, coast of Georgia. Even tropical storm watches going up towards Charleston, South Carolina. So you can see if the wind field was going to stay this small, I don't think there would be tropical storm alerts for Georgia and South Carolina. And just saying. It will then start to exit, and pretty fast, actually, as a tropical and a post-tropical storm as it exits just to the south there of Bermuda. Storm surge graphics, again, 1 to 3 feet, Edisto Beach up to South Santee River, probably as far north as the surge is going to get, down through Savannah and, Altamaha Sound. Never actually heard of that place, but near Savannah, Georgia, about 2 to 4 feet of surge. Northeast coast of Florida, where Jacksonville is, probably about 3 to 5 feet of surge. St. John's River that goes right through northern Florida, as we know here, 2 to 4 feet of surge. Okay, even down the Palm Beach, we could even see 1 to 3 feet. The only place in Florida that doesn't seem like it's going to get that much surge, if any at all, is going to be the southeast coast, so basically Miami. But anywhere else in the state of Florida, aside from the far western panhandle, probably going to get some form of storm surge. Again, I would consider anything above 2 feet. I would say that's pretty concerning, right? It's 2 to 4 feet. Even 1 to 3 can be, concerning. But once you get 2 to 4 feet plus, that's really concerning, in my opinion. And you can see Tampa Bay, 8 to 12 feet. Just south of Tampa into Sarasota, 10 to 15 feet of surge. Even down towards Naples, we can even see about 8 feet of storm surge here. Even the dry Tortugas all the way down here, 2 to 4 feet of surge, right? And remember, those values, I should probably say this as well, that is if the stronger winds occur at high tide. So this is probably, I would say, this is the forecast, but I would also call this kind of like a maximum here. And it could go higher than this, but generally speaking, this is probably the higher end of the forecast, but still gives you a good idea because we probably will be seeing the stronger winds at high tide, sadly. Does depend on what area you're in, though, specifically. Rain field, again, thankfully, pretty small, I would say. Honestly, the rain is really only going to be over north central and central Florida. At least the heaviest rain, I should say. So yeah, you can see over Orlando, 8 to 12 inches of rain. Not too far off to the north and even down towards Tampa Bay, 12 to 16 inches of rain. Remember, this is just freshwater rain now. We're off the storm surge for the moment. You can see again towards Sarasota, maybe about 6 inches of rain. Naples, maybe still getting a couple inches of rain. Right, Miami, again, Miami might be spared. In general, from this storm, you might still get the wind, localized tornadoes. But thankfully, in terms of rain and surge, you guys are looking not A-okay, but you're doing all right. Not even Key West, probably not going to get too much in the form of rain either. And again, look, Georgia, South Carolina, really not much in the way of rain. Either less than an inch or probably nothing. But yet the wind and the surge are still going to be there. So that's my point about the wind field continuing to grow here with this storm. Flash flooding threat, again, pretty much anywhere between Jacksonville and Miami, and I'm even stretching that a little bit because it's pretty much going to be Orlando to Tampa Bay, and of course areas outside of that as well, right? Down towards Kissimmee, down towards Naples, Sarasota, Daytona Beach will be another big rainfall hotspot. but that's where you're going to see the highest risks here of flash flooding. Take a look at the severe weather threat. Again, enhanced risk of severe weather, which is pretty significant over Central Florida. Again, the rainfall, I would say, was probably in this region. So I'd say the tornado, the severe weather threat will be a little bit more south because that's going to be along the actual storm track. And the heaviest rainfall will be just to the north of the storm track because as of right now, the heaviest rainfall core, at least if you look on the radar, will be on the northern side of that storm. But still, slight threat of severe weather, even down towards Miami. So again, like I said, not A-okay because you're not exactly spared completely Miami, but definitely not going to get as bad as say Orlando and Tampa for sure. Take a look at the some of the National Weather Service graphics here. Again, just to reiterate here, you can see the wind graphics, but it kind of gives it to you in a kind of better perspective. I always like looking at these maps myself. Hurricane force winds anywhere in that red and purple color. Cat 1, Cat 2 winds is going to be your red, and then greater than Cat 2. So this is purple represents major hurricane force winds. Tampa, Sarasota, even getting pretty close there to Naples. Jacksonville, again, anywhere in the yellow, by the way, is tropical storm force winds. And you can see that goes out to the Panhandle, that goes up the coast of Florida and the Georgia, that goes down to Miami and the Keys. Tropical storm force winds. The orange represents higher end tropical storms. So that's like closer to a hurricane. That's your orange color. That goes up to Jacksonville. And then, of course, your red and purple are your hurricane force winds. Storm surge flooding, again, to show you on this map, we can see greater than 3 feet. Jacksonville up through Savannah. Even Charleston can see greater than a foot of surge here. Even down to, the Space Coast could even get greater than 3 feet. But again, greater than 9 feet, we're going to see double-digit surge amounts will be Tampa, Sarasota, and getting pretty close there to Naples. Here's the rainfall threat. Extreme flooding rains here for Orlando and Tampa. Double-digit rainfall on the table. And again, even down to Miami, we can see some localized flooding. Even Jacksonville could see some moderate flooding from this. The rainfall will certainly be no joke with this storm. Take a look here at the tornadic threat. Again, here's the track coming in like this. The tornadic threat, again, pretty much where that track is and just south. Again, you're probably just south of where the heaviest rainfall is going to be, which will be a little bit further north, and that will be where Orlando and Tampa are right here. All right, and again, Miami could even see several tornadoes. The tornado threat, again, you can also see it shifted south because Jacksonville, you were in like the wind and a little bit of rain, but not as much in terms of tornadoes. So that kind of further proves my point that it'll probably be further south. Sea surface temperatures, 85 degrees. That's still pretty warm, sitting right in that current there, that warm ocean current. We will have those warm sea surface temperatures all the way till landfall. But again, it's that little bit of shear that's going to kind of start to mess with the storm a little bit. But still, the warm ocean water will definitely keep the, it'll certainly keep the moisture pumping into the peninsula of Florida there. Wave heights, as the storm comes on shore, I picked near Tampa, 15 feet. I would say localized areas over 20 feet. And off the coast here, as you can see where the actual low is, before it comes on shore, off the coast, we could see waves close to 30 feet in height. Honestly, I mean, that's very high. I've seen hurricanes go way higher. But that's still pretty significant, the wave heights. But again, I think the surge, I would hope nobody's playing in the water. I would think the surge is the bigger threat here in terms of, of ocean threats. Take a look, couple of models here to finish off the video. Here comes a high resolution model. You can see the low coming on shore. Pressure, for some reason, not all that accurate, even right now, because the pressure's like I believe in the low 900s. It says it's 981, not at all accurate. But what is accurate, I do believe, is the radar, because they are very good with their radar, and where the storm position is, not necessarily how much pressure it has. You can see we're going to let it play out here again, and you can see heavy rainfall already hit the state of Florida this morning, into this afternoon, and into this evening, and then boom, there comes that core right over Orlando and Daytona Beach. How much rainfall? Well, potentially 6+ inches, anywhere from Tampa to, again, Orlando, Daytona, Melbourne, and areas just south. But there are some localized areas getting some lighter yellowish shading that could, approach double-digit rainfall, 10, 12 plus inches of rain. And again, this is pretty much going to be coming in like a 24-ish hour span, so it's not going to be over a lot of time. NAM model, that pressure is a lot more accurate, low 900s, but you can see it will be going up slightly because the storm will weaken slightly as it comes on shore. You can see once that northern core comes on shore, though, man, and northern And northern part of the storm will definitely have the heaviest rainfall. You can see when that storm comes on shore, that northern side will really have the rainfall. Already filling in later today, and then in the Thursday morning, boom, right over Orlando, right over Daytona, and then making its way off the coast here. We'll let it play one more time so you guys can see again. Look at the bands getting up to Jacksonville, right? Even some bands getting down towards Miami, even though not a lot of rain, but still some localized bands of potentially, severe weather and heavy rainfall. How much? Well, a little bit more of a concentrated area, but 6+ inches in that red, but again, a lot more widespread of the yellows, which on this model go 14, 16+ inches, and maybe even a bit higher as you get closer to Tampa. So very heavy rainfall, very strong winds, high surge. It's normal with these hurricanes, but it's really prevalent with this one. I mean, remember, Milton got up to 180 mile per hour Category 5 hurricane with gusts to 220 at one point when it was near the Yucatan. So very strong system. Almost kind of reminds me of Katrina. It's strengthened to a 5, weakened to a 3, but still a very dangerous storm nonetheless. So hopefully everybody's evacuated and taken all the measures they needed to. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad I was able to update you guys here. Thank you for watching. I am the Weather Dude signing off till next time, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.